The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll start off with a give to Lewis. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. A 2nd down run with Lewis. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A play fake, now Cunningham. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. They'll get 34 yards there.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Now a 1st down throw, Cunningham. Flushed out right. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Play action, it's Cunningham. Out to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
They don't get it all back there, but they do get 8, and it sets up a 3rd and 15.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready up. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. I got one.
Now a carry for Portis. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, it's McNair. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Here we go. Here we go. Check three.
On third down, McNair. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And taken right at the 35. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cunningham sets up the screen to Lewis. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Now Cunningham. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3. But now it's 3rd down. And they'll need the 39 here for a 1st. This is 3rd down. Here's Cunningham from the gun. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. 20, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The Bills take over 1st and 10.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Out of the gun here, it's Cunningham. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
We can't be stopped.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10.
Here's Portis. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll go right back to the ground with Portis. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of 1st downs, and here a loss of yardage. On 2nd down, McNair. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
This close to the goal line, you got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run it here with Bortis. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
53, Mike, 53. I don't think you got
A
it.
run with Bortis. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, the number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. On second down, it's Lewis. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. From the gun, Cunningham. And that is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Now McNair off the play fake. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Let's go.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
They start the drive on the ground with Lewis. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down now, it's Lewis. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw on 3rd down, Cunningham. And that will be incomplete. So touchdowns on their first 2 drives, but looking like that won't be the case here.
Yeah, it looks like someone put their dukes up a little bit, doesn't it? Maybe decided to finally make a stand, because those first 2 drives, they got run over. Now, finally, got their feet under them, got a little bit of balance. They're getting off the field.
Take it at the 37. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
McNair to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the 1st. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10.
Watch the slip. Watch the slip.
On 1st down, it's Cunningham. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a 2nd time.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Cunningham. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Off the play fake. Cunningham. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Here's Bradley Pena now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Now, that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 31-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Mike, 53. 53 for Mike. 53 for Mike. Hey, focus, defense, focus. Check 24, check 24.
McNair. And he will find his man on the outside. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Badgley's kick is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
We got this. First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
First down, Bills.
I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Watch the twist.
They'll stay with Lewis here on 1st down. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On the handoff, here's Lewis running right. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Cunningham. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw, McNair. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
Look for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
He's checking.
Now Lewis. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. From the gun on 3rd down. Cunningham. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Cunningham looking to throw. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Switch gears.
On second down, it's Lewis. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through three quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Cunningham looking sideline, incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Well, another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. Myers' kick is good. And the Bills are forced to settle for 3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
At the 19-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, here's McNair. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's McNair. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 30. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. That one goes for 24 yards.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Timmy Jernigan with a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. From the gun, Cunningham. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. From 3 yards out, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, it's very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Get the ball. Check.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
You'll forgive me if I get excited about what we just saw there, won't you? I know I'm supposed to be neutral here, but those are terrific plays back-to-back defensively. They know what the mission is. They've got to force a punt here if they want to have a chance to win the game.
They absolutely do. Steps 1 and 2 done. Now they need this 3rd step. On 3rd down, McNair. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Here's Johnny Hecker now. He's been terrific so far. Taking it about the 16. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. They're in the 4th quarter in Denver. It's the Broncos that have added on to their lead. If they can hold on, the win would be number 8 for them on the campaign. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Operating from the gun. Cunningham. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Set, ready. Touchdown. Mike, so don't say nothing. Check.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 41-yard line.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was a game where they got out to a pretty good-sized lead, and then they had to hang on for dear life at the end.
Not exactly how you would draw it up. You would continue to score and find